Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Fresh on Clips. I'm Luca Kassab, and we got longtime guest Chris Rodriguez here. I think his third, fourth time on the pod, but we're
Yeah.
doing playoff predictions today. So, Chris, how you feeling about this playoff?
Dude, it's gonna be an exciting playoffs, bro. I feel like we haven't had a playoffs like this in a while. So I think it's actually gonna be exciting, especially on the West, bro. All the teams are stacked. There's so many good teams. So it's definitely gonna be a wild playoffs.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, we're filming this after the second day of the play-ins. So, Houston will be facing Golden State because Golden State beat Memphis yesterday. And then in the East, Orlando beat Atlanta, so they have Boston. Today we had the Bulls lose to the Heat, so the Heat are playing Atlanta for the 8 seed, and then we had the Dallas Mavericks kill the Sacramento Kings, so they're playing for the 8 seed against the Grizzlies for OKC.
Yep.
And let's just start talking about the play-in. I think a lot of people have mixed opinions on it, but I, for one, I think that the play-in needs to be abolished.
I mean, I think I like the plan, bro, just because in the fact that it's actually something different that I feel like is adding value to the NBA. I know it's more games, more sponsorships, more money, because obviously there's more games and stuff like that. But I'm actually a fan of it because I feel like it kind of warms you up for the playoffs because it's not really a playoff game, but it's a pretty important game that you have to win, but it's not the playoffs. And I think it like kind of warms up the fans as well as the players for the actual playoffs. But I mean, I guess it's unfair when, a team's 7 seed and they still have to compete for a playoff spot. And, they could literally have two unlucky games and just be kicked out of the playoffs just because, you know.
I just think that there's like yesterday's game, not Houston, Memphis versus Golden State was a great game. But every other game has been a 20-point blowout. You know who's going to win by halftime. So for me, I just think that there's just a big lack of talent per se. Not even
Yeah.
talent. I just think it's a big talent differential. So I do think that there should be a game requirement. You have to be within this amount of games for the play-in because you see, like even Memphis and Golden State, they were both within 3 games of the 3 seed, but then they're having to play in the playing game.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Dallas, who was
I
four
mean,
games
this
below
was a pretty
500.
unique situation, though. I'm not
Oh
gonna
yeah.
lie, because we had like five teams like all competing for one spot, and and at that like at the end of the season, I don't think we've had that in a while. So, you know,
Yeah, we'll see. Adam Silver loves his tournaments, but we'll get
yeah,
into the actual tournament that matters, the NBA playoffs.
yep.
How I'm thinking, we'll go by series. What I think we'll go from the most exciting to me to the least. So let's start with my own team, this podcast, our team, the Los Angeles Clippers, and their matchup against the Denver Nuggets. For me, I'm doing a whole podcast tomorrow about this. So I'm not going to speak much, but my prediction is Clippers in 7. So, Chris, I would love to hear what you have to say.
Um, to be honest, bro, I think Nuggets pull away in six, bro. Just because I feel like Jokic, bro, he's arguably having one of the best seasons he's ever had in his career. Um. And knowing the Clippers, they'd probably shoot themselves in the foot a couple games. And against Jokic, you afford to have bad games, have bad moments, especially in the clutch. And I just think that the Nuggets are going to get the best of them, and they're going to pull out in 6 games as well because I know that the Clippers have home court advantage, and
No,
it's
actually,
going to be.
Denver does. Denver has home court
Oh,
advantage.
really? Denver has home court.
Yes.
Damn. All right, yeah, then for sure Denver. But it's definitely gonna be hard. I was about to say it's definitely gonna be hard to win into a dome. I feel like when you're there, it's gonna be pretty hard to win. So I think Clippers would take their I guess their home games, but then Denver would manage to steal one and win in six.
I see. I think that's a fair assessment. I think that this is the series that can most go either way.
Yeah, I mean it's 4-5, so it's like that's how it is. It's
And
basically whoever. Like they're both basically the same. So yeah, like, it could literally go either way.
Jokic, when a team has the greatest player in basketball right now, it's hard to pick against them. So I don't blame you. So
Yeah, yeah.
again, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. Not much defense on my part. I'm just looking forward to hopefully a great series, even though we do have game three on NBA TV, which pisses me off a little bit.
Wait, really? Why?
They
Not
put us
nationally televised?
they put us on NBA TV for game three because it's at the same time as OKC, but whatever, who cares?
OKC versus who? Oh, we don't know yet, right? Or
Yes.
OKC versus
Either either Dallas or Memphis, but we'll talk
no
about that.
way. What?
Who gives
That's
a crap?
weird. But
So let's move to the other Los Angeles team. This, in my opinion, is this is going to be such a fun series. The Los Angeles Lakers, the three seed, against the Minnesota Timberwolves, the six seed. Chris, what are we thinking about? What are we thinking for the Lakers?
I think Lakers kill Wolves. I think Lakers kill Wolves in six. I just think the Wolves are very underdeveloped. Like they're a good team, Anthony Edwards, all that, but they're just very underdeveloped at the end of the day, bro. They don't really have much experience. I mean, you saw that in the Dallas series last year with the Wolves. They kind of just got, I wouldn't say lucky, but they were just kind of playing super good basketball that like it's very hard to replicate. And I don't trust Ant and his team anymore. They don't even have Cat, so I don't really trust them to, bro, pull away against LeBron James and Luca Doncic. So I think Lakers pull away this series easily. I don't think we have much trouble. I mean, we shouldn't have much trouble. We're the three seed and we're going against the six seed, so I think we win this one in six as well.
So I have Lakers in six as well. But my reasoning is a little bit different to yours. I actually do think that the Wolves match up pretty well with the Lakers because they have between Conley and Ant, they're both good perimeter defenders. Jade McDaniels is an elite perimeter defender.
Yeah, he
But
is.
my whole problem with the Wolves is while their size scares me, I think this is actually the best matchup for the Lakers because of their lack of size. The Lakers, Rudy Gobert, obviously great basketball player, great defensive player, but offensively, he's not the type of big who's going to post you up. He's not the type of big who's going to go 20-20 on you. So having Jackson Hayes as a center, which is something that scares me for the Lakers, I don't
Yeah.
think is going to be as much of a problem because of him. And then the other thing that I don't really like about the Wolves is Julius Randle and how their success really depends on if he's going to be an aggressive Julius Randle, an overly aggressive Julius Randle, or a bum Julius Randle. He's too streaky of a player for me, and I don't think in a series with this much pressure on it, he's going to be able to have 4 or 5 really good games that allow them to steal 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think Anthony Edwards gonna be on his A game. Julius Randle, like bro, perfect. He's literally a streaky player, so it relies a lot on him. But I'm not too worried about the perimeter defenders because Mike Conley, what he's pushing 40. He's not gonna be able to guard anyone. He's a little tiny 6 feet, so put him
Yeah.
on literally anyone on the Lakers. Put him on Reeves. Reeves is frying him.
That's probably his matchup is he'll probably have Reeves, Ant has Luke, Ant has Braun, and then they throw McDaniels on Luca. But
On the Lakers side, I feel like Hayes and Reeves, they both have to play absolutely insane if the Lakers want to even win the championship. I mean I think that's the hope for all Lakers fans. I don't think anyone is satisfied with Western Conference Finals or second round or even going to the finals. I think every Laker fan believes that they could win the whole entire thing. And in order to win the whole entire thing, I think Reeves and Hayes both have to be playing absolutely insane basketball. They have to be just the best players that they've ever been in their entire lives.
Reeves is the X factor for the
Yeah,
Lakers in this whole playoff.
Reeves is gonna really decide if, and that's crazy, bro, because he's literally undrafted. Like you never think this of him.
Just a
He put
dog.
these expectations onto himself, which is why I love Reeves. Like no one thought he would be, bro. You would think he would be at the end of the bench
He
come
worked
playoff.
his way up.
Yeah. So yeah.
So
Oh.
we're in agreement on Lakers in six for that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lakers in six.
This next series, I have Golden State versus Houston is my next most exciting. And this is going to surprise someone. I'm sorry, Nick Hara, if you are watching this, I would like to apologize in advance, but I'm taking Houston in seven.
Seven is crazy. But do you kind of want to go over like a background of it or?
So Houston's the fifth best defensive team in basketball, and since the All-Star break, they're the second best. They're the second best, and they're on pace with OKC, who's the greatest defensive team in regards to relative consistency and against their competition. So Houston's defense is elite. Golden State's seventh in defense, sure, but you watch like I was watching that Warriors versus Rockets game. 2 weeks ago. And the way that they play defense is something that scares me just for the Warriors' sake. That the whole Rockets defensive scheme with Ime Udoka, who, in my opinion, second best coach in basketball, is just blitz everything. Every time there's a screen, they're blitzing. They're living with the guys who they don't think can shoot. And with the Warriors, the problem they have is while Kuminga's no longer in the rotation, four of their rotational guys are Kayvon Looney, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, and Gary Payton III. All four of them are not good 3-point shooters. And that's something that I think will be taken advantage of by Houston. And Houston loves to push the pace. Houston is a very fast paced team. And the Warriors are a little bit older of a team. So I think they may struggle with that.
Yeah, bro, exactly. I second everything you said. I just think this series specifically, it's gonna come down to a coach's battle. Because on paper, you obviously think the Warriors are gonna win, but
Yeah.
like a Doku, whatever, he's literally been out strategizing every single team in the NBA right now. And I think if you just out strategize the Warriors here, if you find out a game plan, I mean they've already did too. They already know the blueprint to win to beat the Warriors. So I think that if he does what he's continued doing, he just outsmarts Kerr out, just counters everything that he has. I think the Rockets would win in 5 games. I don't think that one's going to be a close series. I think that just like you said, age is a big thing for the Warriors, and Houston is a bunch of young guys. I mean, they got Amen Thompson, they got Jalen Green, so I think they could run for days. I think they'd really put the pressure on Steph Curry, because realistically, you let Butler go off, right? You let Butler go off, but as long as Curry isn't beating you, as long as Curry isn't popping threes in your face, then you have a very, very good chance of winning. I mean, Houston literally showed that the other day, the last regular season game. So I think that Houston wins in 5 for that one.
My thing, just to finish out about this little Houston point, is the Rockets genuinely may not have either of the two best players in the series, but I think that they have the next five. I
Who's
think
that?
Jimmy and Steph are the two best players in the series. I
Yeah,
think
for sure.
all can agree on that. But
Yep.
between Şengün, Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, Tari Eason, and Dylan Brooks, that's the next five best players. I would take Dylan Brooks over Draymond right now. I would take I would take Tari Eason and his defensive length and his consistency at the 3-point line. I would take that over Podziemski, for example.
Yeah.
I just think that the whole deal is that this Rockets team, while they may not have many veterans, they do have Fred VanVleet, who's a champion, upset this Warriors team, by the way, in 2019. They have Dylan Brooks, who you know he loves beefing with these Warriors. They got Steven Adams as a backup five, and they have Uncle Jeff Green. So they
Yeah.
have veteran presences, even though they may not all play or they may not play heavy minutes outside of Van Vliet and Brooks. This is a team that, while
They're
they are
locker room
young,
guys. Yeah.
they have good locker room guys, and they have a coach who took the Celtics to the finals in 22.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I think it's all external factors, especially with the Warriors, bro, because they've always been a beatable team. They've always had weaknesses, and they show. Like even when they had KD, it's like they don't have anyone blocking a shot at the paint. And the Spurs, that one series that Kawhi got injured was just they
yeah,
were just attacking that, right? And it's just out strategizing at the end of the day. Like the Warriors have such big weaknesses that like if you attack them, if you know how to like, it's game over. Like I literally think the Spurs could have beat the Warriors that series if Kawhi didn't go down. They were killing them, bro. Like they were killing them on their home floor.
same with the Houston series, Chris
Yeah,
Paul.
yeah, yeah. Like
So
the Warriors are easily beatable if you have a good coach, and I think that the Rockets are gonna literally demonstrate that, and they're gonna win in 5 for sure.
all right, let's move. First Eastern Conference battle we have over here. So we have the New York Knicks, the 3 seed, versus the Detroit Pistons.
The Detroit Pistons.
So,
Damn.
Chris, how are we feeling about this series? I know you're a massive Brunson guy like me, so
Yeah.
love
I
to
mean,
hear
I gotta go with the Knicks, bro. I know K's been balling out. I know Detroit has been having a really good year, bro. I mean, when was the last time they made the playoffs? I have no clue.
Blake Griffin was there. That was the last time they
Yeah,
made.
that was the last time. I mean, I mean, literally last season you had fans wearing like bags on their head to sell the team. So they've come a long way, but I think, you have to have some sort of you have to be at least good to win a playoff series. I don't think that the Detroit Pistons are nowhere near good to win a playoff series, especially against the Knicks. who Brunson always turns up in the playoffs. You got Cat popping threes. You just got a problem with the Knicks, bro. You never know what you're gonna get. So I think Knicks win that one in five as well.
Okay, so I have Knicks in five as well. And
Yeah.
my whole thing is there's just not enough playoff experience on this
Yeah,
Detroit.
yeah, yeah.
You can say the same thing about Houston, sure, but Detroit has what? Cade's first playoff run. Their starting lineup has Cade's first playoff run. Tim Hardaway Jr., who he's a very streaky basketball
He's
player.
fucking trash. But I mean, sorry, Luke, sorry. But yeah,
Jalen
he's
Jalen Duren, who his first playoff run, Asar Thompson's first playoff run, and
oh
you
yeah,
have Tobias
Thompson, the
Harris
other brother,
starting.
yeah.
You have Tobias Harris starting, who
He's been mid his whole entire career, but yeah, yeah, I don't there's no way Detroit even comes close to winning that. I
I
think
think
Knicks just mop the floor
I
with them.
think these are all going to be hard fought games because they are a more physical team, Detroit. But at the end of the day, the wings that the Knicks have between Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby defensively, Mikal
Yeah.
Bridges is a guard stopper.
Oh
There
yeah,
are
Mikal Bridges, bro.
The
Yeah, no.
NBA has guard stoppers and they have wing stoppers. Mikal Bridges is a guard stopper, so
Yeah,
I can't wait for the Mikal Bridges Cade matchups.
yeah, it's gonna be a good matchup. But yeah, like I said, I think Knicks win that one easily, but
Knicks
it's
in
definitely
five.
gonna be an interesting series just because Detroit hasn't been in the playoffs in a while.
Okay, let's move to Milwaukee versus Indiana. No Dame, no Dame for Milwaukee, so it does
Is
make
it just the first game or the whole series?
as of now they're saying just the first game, but
Yeah.
I fear that it's going to be a little longer than that. So
Yeah. What is Milwaukee like the second seed?
Milwaukee's six, Milwaukee's five, Indiana's four, and Indiana
Wow.
is 20-9 since the All-Star break.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I'm
You
taking
want to
the
go first with that one?
I'm taking the Pacers in sixth, and Halliburton, while he started the year off rough, he's been awesome. He's been all NBA level this season, aside from those first 10 games. Siakam's awesome. But my thinking is that there is no little to no depth in Milwaukee. But the big thing, the biggest of all, and I know you can relate to this as someone who has followed Chris Paul's entire career,
Yeah.
Milwaukee's head coach is Glenn Rivers, the
Yeah.
last guy to make adjustments ever.
Yeah. He's a recipe for disaster. But um yeah, I mean, Giannis, you really put the pressure on Giannis if Dame's hurt, and he's probably not going to come back as the same player too. I don't expect him even to play more than 3 games this series, but like you said, bro, Hallie's been hooping. I know he had those terrible first 10 games, bro, where everyone thought he was literally like back to being a bum, but he's been hooping recently. The Pacers got a good squad, bro. I've been seeing them. They got a good squad, and yeah, I think they take down the Bucks, but not as easily. I think this game goes to 7 games just because I think that Giannis just won't allow his team to lose that quick. I think he's also like a very fierce competitor, so he just won't allow his team to go down that quick. But I think that the Pacers the win at the end of the day in 7.
The Pacers just have so much depth because they have Hallie. Sure, they have Hallie and Siakam who are just starters, who are all-star players. But you have Miles Turner, you have Andrew Nemhard, you have Obi Toppin, who shout out to Obi Toppin. He's not going to win Sixth Man of the Year, but he deserves some form of
Yeah,
recognition for what he's been doing off the bench. Andrew Nemhard, TJ
yeah,
McConnell, Aaron
Nembhard.
Neesmith. It's just a good
Yeah,
group.
they're a problem, bro. The Pacers are annoying to play against. I know that they're definitely just gonna like the Bucks are just gonna feel annoyed, like. They're just not going to want to. It's not a fun team to go against. They got a lot of. They could hit you from many directions.
All I'm saying is if Kyle Kuzma is your number two option and Doc Rivers is your
Yeah,
head
bro.
coach, you're not winning. So
Even if they have Giannis, which sucks because he's a really good player, but
when's
you know,
he requesting out? That's what's going to be fun about this. But let's move to these next three series. These last three, in my opinion, are pretty boring series. So first one, let's talk about Boston versus Orlando. So let's hear what you have to say about that series.
I mean, I think the Celtics cakewalk to the finals. So I mean, I have them basically winning every single series in the East. Um, Magic are good. Paul has been hooping recently, bro. Paul has been hooping. He's been
Tyler's
doing.
low-key a free throw merchant, though, I will not lie.
I mean, he's hooping at the end of the day, bro.
He
Like you
is
got to
good.
give him props, and he's young, so you got to give him props for props due. He just led a team to the playoffs, um, and he's been playing really well. But the Celtics are the Celtics. just like I said that the Laker fans are expecting a championship, Celtics fans are expecting nothing less than a championship as well. I mean, they have the most championships in league history or
And
in franchise.
they won easily last year too. So
Yeah, so as a Celtics organization, I don't think anyone is contempt in that, I guess on that team with just making it first round, second round, third round, fourth round. And I think that's going to be their motto going in. So I think they'll easily beat the Magic in five.
yeah, so I have Orlando and I have Orlando losing in five as well.
Yeah.
And but here's a big thing that I think actually goes under the radar, doesn't mean much because it's the regular season, and and Boston did have a lot of injuries throughout the year. But Boston was 1-2 this year versus Orlando, and both of their losses were blowouts, and they were low scoring games for Boston. And that's the one thing that we can say about Orlando as a unit is they are the number two defensive team in basketball, and there's a reason. They're starting
Is Houston number one?
no, number one's OKC, number two is Orlando, three is the Clippers, and four is Houston.
Or is it? Oh, okay.
But Orlando's defense has been something that they've built on. They just do not have any scores outside of Franz and Paulo, and their three-point shooting is suspect. So that's the big thing is Boston is going to shoot 53s a game. They're going to shoot 35 to 40% from three, more like
Yeah.
37 to 40% from three. And they just have a better overall roster. Orlando's young. They have talent. They're going to be a force to reckon with if they can actually get some guard play. Please trade for Anthony Simons this offseason. But they have the talent. They have enough talent to steal one game from Boston, but that's all. It's not going to be an easy series for Boston per se. But as you said, Boston should be championship or bust. They have
Yep.
a starting five of all stars with the six man of the year in Pritchard. That's all I have to say about that series is Orlando's going to steal one because Paolo showed he's a high playoff performer
Mm.
last year, averaging 28 a game, but it's just not going to be that competitive of a series because at the end of the day, you have Tatum, you have Jaylen Brown, who are both superstars. You have Derek White, who's an elite role player, at worst an elite role player. You have Drew Holiday, who's the greatest defensive guard of our generation. And then you have
Yep.
Porzingis at the five, who is an all-star caliber player when he plays.
Yeah. And they all have experience. I mean, they just came off a championship win. So they have the firepower, but they also have experience as well. So yeah, it's gonna be hard to even beat the Celtics. So yeah, I think for sure they win that one.
So let's push to the other team in the East, the number one seed, Cleveland Cavaliers, who are going to play either the Atlanta Hawks and Miami Heat. So for those of you who don't know much about the Hawks, it's a very swing heavy, big swing. I mean like solid wing heavy team. Trey
Yeah,
Young at the one, as we know. Dyson Daniels took a jump this year, elite defensive player. Risha Shea, George Niang, Karis LeVert, Terrence Mann, shout out Clippers legend. It's just a lot
facts.
of wings over there. And then with the Heat, their Jimmy Butler list. It's the same team they had, but they have Wiggins instead of Butler.
Yeah, I don't. The Heat are done for, bro. I don't. Both of them teams are gonna lose to. Wait, who's the
Hawks, Heat, and then against Cleveland.
Cleveland? Yeah, bro. Cleveland, bro. They just had a historic season, bro. I know they're coming off so much momentum. I know that they have high playoff hopes. Um, so yeah, they're just gonna cook, bro. They have really good fans. Their stadium is always loud when they're at home. So yeah, I don't think any of those teams put up a shot against the Cavs. I mean, the Heat are basically, I don't even think they believe in themselves. So they're out, and then Trey Young, he has too much of an ego sometimes, and he
He's a
just lets his
playoff
emotions.
riser.
Yeah, I think he lets his emotions get the best of him sometimes though, and you don't really want that. Just from an experience standpoint, you could tell that Trey Young kind of, he lacks at it. I think he's a hooper, but at the end of the day, but I feel like you gotta also know how to control the game, know how to control the tempo, know how to control your teammates as well, bro. Because when you start shouting and acting like a kid and start complaining about calls that reflects to your team, because you're the leader, bro. You're like the point guard, so that reflects to your team. And I think Cavs might 4-0 both of
I
those teams.
I have Cavs in a sweep as well.
Yeah, I think Cavs sweep, bro.
And my
Just to
big
send a message out to the league as well, like we're not just a regular
we're
season
not a
team.
fluke.
Yeah, yeah, we're here to win the playoffs. We're here to I mean, hopefully give some Celtics a run for their money. So for sure, I got Cavs sweeping both.
Yeah. So my big thing, just to mention with Cleveland, best 3-point shooting team in the league. And I just don't think either of those teams, as good as Bam Adebayo is, who else matches up with them for the Heat? And then Okongwu and Mohamed Gui right now are the starting 4 and 5 for the Hawks. How do they match up with Allen and Mobley? That's all I have to say. Is that big play by itself? And then you add D. Mitch and Garland, who are both debatably having D. Mitch for sure is an all NBA player. Garland you
Yeah.
can make a case for, but he was an all-star regardless. So it's just not enough firepower for either. And that's what sucks about the East versus the West. Is the West you have a team like the Warriors, who are a playing team, they're playing a 2 seed now, and you can genuinely see 60% of people think the Warriors are going to win.
Yeah,
So
the Warriors could win that one.
let's move to the last series, and in my opinion, I have no care for this. So Oklahoma City Thunder, who just won 69 games, have the MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander against the Dallas Mavericks without Kyrie Irving or the Memphis Grizzlies. So regardless for me, neither matchup does anything. But I want to hear from you your thoughts about playing and then
It,
this series.
I mean, I think it's basically the on the other side here. I think Thunder just they'll kill both of these teams out of the play-in. I mean, they're just it's hard to match up against the Thunder, bro. You need a really good team to really beat the Thunder. You got to be on your A game. So I think Thunder sweep both of these teams. I don't it doesn't really matter who wins. Even if Dallas wins with 80, I don't think 80 and Clay, I don't think that they come close to the Thunder. I think the Thunder are also kind of hoping for that championship. I think their fan base, I know they haven't had a champ. I don't have they had a championship
No,
ever?
no championships. They
No
have the one
championship ever.
finals
So
appearance.
I'm sure that the fans are hot right now. 60 off a 69 game win. This would be a perfect season. If they were able to cap it off with the championship. I know Shay's hungry for it. I know all them young dudes in Oklahoma are hungry for that championship. So I think they'll go for that championship push. And I think these teams are just standing in the way of that, and the Thunder are just overlooking both of these teams and probably just looking at their second opponent.
Yeah, so my big thing is I hope Dallas wins this playing game
Uh-huh.
because I think Dallas could take one game off OKC, whereas I think Memphis gets swept. And my big thing with Memphis is yes, they run the double bigs in Jaren and Edie. You know how big the Thunder starting lineup is? SGA is a 6'6" point guard. They
Yep.
and then they have next to him either Case Lou Dort. Lou Dort's there too, who's been a small forward his whole career. Then you got J Dub at the three, who's a power forward. And then you have at the 4 and the 5, you have
Jalen Williams.
Chet and Isaiah Hardenstein. J Dub's at
Mm,
the 3. So I think that Memphis doesn't match up well with them. Memphis isn't a good enough defensive team, and having a
yeah.
rookie coach isn't going to help them. And then on Dallas's side, at least while they don't have Kyrie, and maybe they don't have the Doncic anymore. They don't have that true superstar. I think AD's the level below true superstar. But
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is still dominant. And they have dudes who can go on a tear over in one single game. Spencer Dinwiddie has shown that. Clay Thompson, we know about Clay Thompson. He actually had a great playing game today, too. Najee Marshall can have a great game. PJ Washington was great last year's playoffs. And they do have Lively and Gafford, who are both above average centers. So I do think they could take one. So if OKC plays Dallas, it's OKC in 5. And if OKC plays Memphis, I have OKC in 4.
I just realized, bro, all the OKC guys are strong as hell. I mean, Jalen Williams strong, Lou Dort strong, Shea strong for his size. Like, bro,
Caruso
all these
off the
dudes are
bench, too.
strong, bro.
Caruso
Yeah,
and Cason Wallace off the bench.
dude, they're
Even
gonna be
Nate Will's
annoying to
not
play
bad.
against. Yeah, they're gonna be hella annoying to play against.
So let's close this out, actually. This is a segment that I didn't even tell you about, but this is going to be a quick fire, okay?
Okay, bet.
Out of, first question, out of the three, in quotes, favorites, Boston, OKC, and Cleveland, which team is most likely to lose before the conference finals?
You said Boston, OKC, and what?
Cleveland.
Boston, OKC, Cleveland.
Quick reasoning for it.
Um, I just think that Boston, OKC are just both championship players, championship teams that if it's not a championship, it's a bust. I think Cleveland, um, they kind of had this surprising regular season where, they could go both ways, right? You really wanted to do good well in the playoffs, but at the end of the day, bro, they didn't really have much experience other than LeBron James, but that was a completely different team.
Okay. And then this one, I'm going to ask you first, then I'll give my input. What is your conference finals looking like on both the East and the West?
Like, who's coming out or who's playing?
Who's what two teams are making the conference finals and who's coming out?
Okay. So I think um so the Warriors are on the other side, right?
Yeah, so it's Warriors, Rockets. Warriors, Rockets are on the same side as the Lakers and the Wolves.
Okay. Okay. I think Thunder go obviously second round. I think they beat whoever their opponent is.
Denver.
I
So they
think
beat Denver.
that they for sure beat Denver. And I think they go to the conference finals. I think Lakers beat the Wolves. I think Lakers beat the Rockets.
Yep.
Um, and then I think they'll go in the conference finals. So I think Thunder, Lakers on the West, and then on the East, I take Celtic, Boston and Cleveland. They're on opposite sides, right?
Opposite sides, yes.
Yeah, I'll take Boston. That one's easy. I mean, the East is not that strong, so I'll take Boston and Cleveland, and then the Warriors. I mean, and the Lakers and Thunder.
So lastly about that before I go. So what's your NBA finals prediction? Who's
NBA final.
what are your two teams? You don't have to know who's winning, just two. Actually, I want to hear who's winning too. Not the games, just NBA finals prediction. Let's hear it.
All right, so I think um I think Lakers dominate Thunder. I think it's a close game, but at the end of the day, bro, you got LeBron, you got his
Nah,
kid,
you
you got
got Luka
Luka.
Doncic. You got Luka
Yeah.
Doncic. They don't.
Yep. I think at the end of the day, Lakers will come out. It's going to be a very, very fought series. It's going to be hard fought. We're going to need all of LA to be at that games, just cheering them on. So I think Lakers go, make it out of the West, and then I think obviously the Celtics, and then we get that Celtics Lakers matchup that everyone's been
The
waiting
NBA
for.
script.
Hopefully, because everyone just wants that at the end of the day. Everyone just wants the two biggest franchises competing for a championship. So I think Celtics Lakers.
And who's your champion?
I got Lakers, bro. Come on.
All right.
Easy. Yeah.
See, so we have the same. Actually, that's not true. Clippers winning the chip. Nah, 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 nah. See, we have high upside, but we don't match up. We match up pretty well with OKC, but we're not beating OKC.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I do have the same Western Conference. It's going to be Lakers versus Thunder, but I think the Thunder take it. As much as I love Luca and LeBron, Luca, Braun, Reeves, that big three, I just think OKC has more depth and their big play is going to hurt the Lakers. But again, Luca's the biggest playoff riser in the sport outside of Kawhi Leonard.
Yep.
And
Wait, so you think Lakers beat Rockets?
yes, I think Rockets inexperience comes out in that series, but I don't because I think that it's a better matchup for the Lakers than it is for the Warriors. And then I would say in the East, this is going to surprise you, but we
Oh
got
shit.
Boston versus the Pacers. The
The
Pacers are hot right
Pacers.
now, and the Pacers are a team that can upset the Cavs because of how quickly they play and how good their defense has been since the All-Star break. The Pacers can face their 3-point shooting and they can face their 3-point shooting, stay with them and play at a faster pace, giving the Pacers over the Cavs to get to the conference finals against the Celtics. But at the end of the day, Boston is Boston. The Celtics are going to be playing the Thunder in the NBA finals, just like I predicted before the season started. And I wish I could say we are taking Shea, but Boston's winning that series.
You
They
think
still
Boston's repeating?
Yeah, Boston has the best player. They may not have Shea, who's the best player, but they have Jaylen Brown and Tatum, and we've seen Brown turn up in the playoffs. And at the end of the day, they have more experience. OKC's title window has opened, but they're not going to start winning for give it 2 years until
Yeah.
Presti has the idea that he should trade these picks and get some more help because they can get one more player who fits perfectly with the defensive scheme. Give them another guy, but until then. Until Tatum somehow falls off, or unless Drew Holiday or something happens with the Celtics, you are not convincing me they aren't winning. Celtics
Yeah.
in six against OKC in the finals.
Celtics in six.
Against OKC in the finals. So I have Boston repeating. You have the Lakers winning. And honestly, like either of these help the NBA in their script. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think, bro, I mean, what better matchup do you want than the Lakers versus Celtics?
Oh, most historic rivalry in all of sports. That would
Yeah,
be awesome.
so I think we get that, bro. I think LeBron is playing with extreme just because he's with his son. I don't even like, bro, winning a championship with your son, I think that'd be the craziest accomplishment ever. So I think LeBron is definitely gonna play his heart out this playoffs.
Going to be an exciting playoff run. Starts this Saturday. I'm really
Yep.
excited for this playoffs. I think it's going to be one for the ages.
Yep.
And Chris, any closing thoughts here?
I mean, yeah, bro, I think this is one of the most anticipated playoffs in a while, just because, the NBA seems like it's coming back. Like every team is, all the teams that are meant to fight, they're fighting, obviously you're obviously gonna have those bum ass teams that really don't do anything. So they're gonna get washed away quick. And then I think the second round is gonna be all heavy hitters. It's gonna be all people who have aspirations of going to the championship. So I think they're all gonna play. Hopefully, like the March Madness we saw, I hope all of them just play their hearts out. And I think that's exactly what will happen. I think that's exactly what will happen. Um, and yeah, bro, it's definitely going to be an exciting series, and I hope LA comes on top.
I'm looking forward to this playoff run and let's go Clippers. Peace.
Let's go.
Clippers
Go
bring it in.
Clippers.
5 seconds to go. Tie game. Seatbelts are fastened. Lou Williams for the win. Bingo!
Oh my goodness.
God, he got it! 1 second left. Clippers by 2.
The three for the tie. Oh my goodness! I don't believe what I have seen. We